different elevations. It's way too windy here. It's not really enjoyable. It would be nice if it wasn't windy. It would be a nice day to hang out, chill. But the wind really brings the chill factor down. You know, it's probably, I want to say, 40s to 30s up here. So it does get pretty cold. And so if you're not able to handle that kind of condition, you're not prepared for it, you can definitely, be in trouble. I just put on, I'm not using my fleece or my micro down. I save that for emergencies, really. If I really need it. I just put on my rain jacket, using it as like a windbreaker to break the wind. It seems to be doing the job. But now you can see it's not windy at all. The wind is completely quiet and peaceful. But then you'll just get these roaring, crazy winds from, I want to say that's the north over there. I don't really know. Maybe that's like the west. Well, assuming the sun's in the sky and it's heading that way, that's got to be the northwest or the west area. So I do have, I'll show you. I do have these, and I like eating these a lot. This is my one of my favorites besides like pepperoni. I like these because they come with a bunch of stuff, and then you can always use this to pack stuff out so you don't make a mess. And it's a little bit more bulky, but you get everything you need to have. So I'm gonna eat this real quick, and then I'm gonna head back down, and I'm gonna hang out somewhere once I get to the flatter area by the water, I think, and then cook something up. So I'll check with you guys when I'm heading down. Okay, so I'm about to head down. Got my my pack ready to go. It's really getting windy up here, and so like I said, I'm just gonna get down off the top and find like a sunny lower area by the creek once I get down that flat area to cook up some stuff and hang out for a bit before I head back to my car. I want to makeshift some walking sticks to get down that steep hill so I don't hurt myself. And so I'm looking around, and a lot of this stuff, as you can see, it's pretty dead and dry. It takes a beating up here, so I'll have to look closely for something I can leverage to get down there. Otherwise I'll be sliding on my butt or slipping all the way down, which I don't want to do. I can hurt myself and hit a tree and get a concussion and injured, paralyzed, or death. It's all serious stuff that can happen. So I will check in with you guys when I get to a safer place. This is Nate on top of South Hancock in New Hampshire. See you later. Alright, got me a makeshift walking stick I just found, and we are heading back down the way we came so that I know the conditions. I'm not going to film this just because it's kind of dangerous for me messing with my phone. It's just so slippery. So I'm going to get down a flatter area and then I'll stop and hang out for a bit. So I will show you the view here when we get to these clearing, because it is a nice view. I'm hoping the snow actually melts this path to where I can dig my heels in more. My fingers are getting chilly. I do wish I had my gloves. I realize I should always pack gloves, even in summertime. Well, maybe not the dead of summer, but check this view out. All right, so we got a little tree action, but we are pretty high up. Little ravine over there. And then we have to go down this treacherous, steep, snowy slope of death of ankle breakers. But I saw 3 guys do it already, so I know it's doable. I just don't want to drop my phone and have it disappear, so I'm going to pocket it. Anyways, that's what I see what you see. I think that might be Washington in the distance over there. I can't zoom in, it's tall and snowy, so that might be it over there. Pretty sure that's it over there, way in the distance. But yeah, I'll see you down there. I have to film this just because it's so crazy. I'm finding that the only way I can get down is sliding on my butt. And if I get too much momentum, I have to hold onto a tree so I don't crash into one. Super dangerous. You know, I want to show people, but it's kind of scary to do. I go slow. As long as I am in path and I'm holding on to trees. The problem is when you start sliding with no trees, you start gaining momentum, like I'm doing now. Whoa! And then you have to hold on to that tree. So let me show you what it looks like. So we're sliding using the path. Try not to get too much speed. And if we do, we grab onto that tree like I'm doing now. Oh! It's definitely not ideal, but, and you can see my hand is pretty frozen right now. So super not safe. And, you know, kind of just want to get down this as fast as possible so I can warm up. That's the biggest issue right now, is that my hands are getting cold and I won't be able to use them to catch trees. So hopefully the steep part isn't that. I mean, I came up it, I know how long it is, but I just get worried when I start sliding fast. So I'm afraid I'm gonna crash into a tree and hit my head or something. So another method is you can kind of just dig your heels into the snow, but it still will sometimes slide. That is the safer method though, because you eventually get enough, you get enough step in it that you can catch yourself. Versus this packed stuff, you can't. It's just one of those moments where you might slide a little bit. And there you have it. This is how you get down this particular trail at this time of year with these conditions. If you don't have what you need, which is pretty much traction for the snow. All in all, these shoes, they're already wet and cold because I got snow in them. If I knew it was this bad, I would have worn gaiters in my Quest 4Ds. But it's not freezing temperature, so I can warm up, blast heat in my car when I get there, and be merry later. I'm not worried about it. If it was on a multi-day trek, this would be a problem. We wouldn't want that, but because I'm only doing it for a day route, it's okay. But I'm gonna stop filming just for safety, and I will be back shortly. Whew. So, a little update. I'm sliding. I started getting really steep. I lost my map somewhere up the hill. I'm not gonna go back up for it. And I dropped my water bottle, and I started traveling. And it's probably like a mile that way. It's a metal one. It just started slaloming down the path. It probably had so much speed right now. I'm just gonna look for it, see if I can find where it would have went, but I'm assuming it's staying to the slippery path. So hopefully I'll see it at some point down here, but pretty dangerous. I underestimated how dangerous this is. And the map itself is a $10 map. I can get a new one. Water bottle's a $20 vacuum sealed water bottle. Anything else, I wouldn't want to lose. Like my electronics, my phone. So, really gotta take the snow seriously. Oh. So I'm just taking it slow. Not trying to get down too fast. Digging my heels into the, oh, there it is. So it hit a snowbank, eventually stopped, which is good. But it traveled a good quarter mile down this trail. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. It's sitting right there. There she is. Fun stuff. See a water bottle. So, got my water bottle back. Somebody's got a brand new map. I shouldn't say it's brand new. Oh. All right, too dangerous. Gotta stop. Well, good news is we didn't die down that slippery slope. But now I know what guys feel in a crevasse when somebody falls or somebody slides down Everest and they don't have an ice axe. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I can imagine the fear going through your eyes when you're gaining momentum on snow and you can't slow down. And there's a few moments there where I thought I was gonna hit a tree. So we lost the map, so not too bad for an adventure in the snow. I'm gonna walk like 10-15 more minutes. The sun is 5 o'clock, so the sun has a few more hours in the sky. I was hoping to be up here for sunset, but I didn't want to have to come down the snowy conditions when it was dark or, you know, very, very little light. It would just be way too dangerous. But, you know, besides the elements kicking my butt, it's a really nice day. Once you get off that top, the sun peeks through. It's nice and quiet and peaceful in here. It's refreshing. Get that fresh mountain air that you don't get in the city. It's really nice. So I'm gonna walk a little bit more, and then I'll find this place up here by this creek where I stopped before, and I think I'll cook up some stuff and maybe just hang out for a bit and show you guys some of my other gear I brought. I probably could fly the drone down here, but the deal with my drone is that you know, I have a Mavic Air, I have a Mavic Pro. I've built a lot of professional grade, like big quads and hexcopters. I've had a Sky Hero, which is a Belgian made frame. You know, it's like a pretty nice, it was a carbon drone that I built. But I stopped really using those because of the size and the realistic nature of how often I was using them. I wasn't using them for surveying like I hoped. I was using them for production, for like YouTube. So all you really need is a small little drone that's going to give you 4K action, and that was good enough. And so my Mavic Pro, I've had it. It was the first little drone I've had. And then I got a Mavic Air and I stopped using it. But the Mavic Pro, I've been wanting to take up and fly and see how it's doing. It has very low miles on it, flight time wise. So there's no reason why I wouldn't fly good. So maybe when I get down here, I will fly it. The deal with drones, as everybody knows, I'm sure, is that in national parks, usually they don't let you fly them. But the catch here is that we're actually halfway out of a park and halfway in it, I think. Or at least maybe, or it might just be the national forest. I gotta see, when you boot up the app, it'll tell you no fly zones and the rules and restrictions. And I am a certified remote pilot in command. I did take the certification class and got licensed to do that. So I do have some luxuries that used to be important until they started changing the rules around, which I don't know if it even matters anymore. So it'll be interesting to see that. I do want to get some drone footage of the area. It would be a lot nicer than the view we got up top. And again, if it wasn't so windy, I would have probably tried to launch it there and see if we can get some cool flight time, but we'll do that down here instead. So I'll find the place to hang out where it's open. We got some sunshine and we'll have some fun. It's a cool looking area. I'm gonna slowly make my way through here. Try not to slip. You can use the rocks as natural steps. A lot more grip on the rocks than the snow. But what's dangerous is when you get here and you're not sure if that's stable. So we'll try to go there. Oh, see what just happened? So that just broke. So if I wasn't paying attention, I could have hurt myself there. So here I'll just slowly, very slowly, try to get my traction. And the good thing about these shoes is they do pretty good in water and rocks. And I notice how I step on the flat rock, not one that's slanted. And I try to step on the base, not in that area where there could be things that could seep in like a few feet and hurt myself. So we're coming up to that area I was talking about. Hopefully the sun will still be shining when we get there. Trying to move along at a decent pace. You can definitely, when you backpack, or you just go on hikes, or you just like explore, when you know the route, you always kind of run it. And that's just because you want to get through it. But the danger is that most people hurt themselves by speeding down and by slipping, especially on stuff like this. These are really, these are conditions for danger if you're not comfortable with like sliding along the snow and catching your weight and all kinds of stuff. So, it's important to take your time, and as long as you beat the light, if you're trying to beat the light, some people like the night hike. So like there, you're good. It's just I keep on slipping on stupid little flat areas that have been melted, and you don't even know what's going to happen. That's the challenge there. So this is a cool area, but I remember there being one that was more open. So farther up. It's a fun area though. But there was an open area I liked a little bit more up here where I stopped before. So let's go ahead and make our way across there. You can see the sun shining through the trees. Yeah, I'm not trying to figure out if I like snow better or not, because on the way up I was like, I liked how it was flattens out all the rocks, but you gotta deal with all this nonsense of, not slipping everywhere. So, it's always there pros and cons with this kind of stuff, but it's very peaceful here. Sometimes you think you're off the trail. I mean, obviously it's a trail here, but for a second back there I was like, am I going the right way? And I don't see any blazes going this way. You saw them coming up. So sometimes though, when you backpack in the wintertime and nobody's really out there, that's when having a GPS, which I haven't used my GPS today, but having a GPS is valuable. It is really, if you lose the trail, if you didn't have one, you could get lost in the woods. And so it's highly recommended at least have a couple of GPS devices. I say a couple, at least one. I carry two. I have my watch. We are back on this. And then we're now in the forest area. So, but I have my GPS watch, which I never really use. It's just for emergencies. I've used it twice in the winter, and it's got me out of the pickle when I've lost the trail way up in the mountains. And most of the time, if it's a very long route and there's a lot of paths and connectors like we just saw, I will program my eTrek. It's a $200 Garmin, nothing special, and I'll use that, and I'll just run that the whole time. And I can check on how close we are. I can make paths, waypoints, all kinds of good stuff. Whoa, gotta stay on the hard pack stuff. And yeah, I'll use my watch for only if I have to, because it drains the batteries pretty fast for very little benefit out of the GPS watch. It's not nearly, it's a small little sensor in the watch, and it doesn't work as good as the mobile handhelds. So the spot I'm thinking about is right up here. Remember, it was like, you can find a sunny spot. I'll just sit down on these rocks and cook something up. We'll just hang out for a bit. Be a nice little dinner in the woods. Doesn't look like it's as sunny though. It's Came up here for sunshine and fresh air. Guess I got my sunshine earlier. So you notice how, and I'm not using the stabilizer, by the way, I just in my pack, but I'm trying to hold it still. But yeah, this is a cool place to hang out for a little bit. But you notice how this trail is literally just a creek, and a lot of times it's just because of the way people go with the flow. I have a metal detector that I bought. It's a little adventure metal detector, and I wanted to test it out in these creeks. And I was gonna bring it out today and see if there's anything in here, but I didn't want to risk it. I'm glad I didn't, because I fell and it would have get messed up. I have to hang on the outside of my pack, and it would have been very useful. It would have just broken. I wouldn't be able to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my pack off, take the stove out, and I'll set up the camera again. Okay, we are chilling. Nothing more soothing than having your dinner by a creek, a snowy creek in the wilderness, with the sun setting through the trees. Can't really see, but there it is. Sorry, my gimbal, when I track the face, it gets a little messed up sometimes if you're not positioning it right. It needs some distance between you and the tracking. So, all right, you're in business. Let's see if it works. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So it is a little bit tricky getting the hang of this, but once you get the hang of it and you know how to use it, it works pretty well. And it acts like I said, a cameraman. Now, I apologize if the creek is loud. I will try to speak up, but more importantly, this stuff out of the way. Right. So it stopped tracking my face. There we go. So now I can just hang out on top. So I did forget one valuable thing, and that is I forgot my spork for my food. So luckily in this tuna thing I have a spoon, but it's really small, so it's going to be very interesting to eat. So let's go ahead and get the pocket rocket lit. And heat up for it. I carry 3. There's some cool stuff I got. This is a cool new little toy that I got. It's this light that has all these fun modes, along with the police mode, which I don't know if that's legal, but that's for if I get stuck in the dark, along with my headlamp with the GoPro. But I also have, somewhere in here, my knife that I use for cooking. I'll find it. There we go. So I like my fire knife. And this is, I really only use this for cooking. I have another blade I use for like chopping and processing, and I have a third one that I use for like a Leatherman. So I do carry a lot of blades when I go out. I don't have any firearms or anything, so it's kind of like, if I had to defend myself, I would use all my knives. And hopefully nothing's going to sneak up and eat me. One thing to be concerned about is if there's leeches rolling around, but I don't think they can penetrate my pants. If I had bare feet walking around here, there are leeches, and they will find you. So I'm just going to find a nice spot for this. I'm going to try to keep it in the frame here. And I want to make sure it's level, of course. Make a nice little place. So I don't want to burn my pants, so don't do that. Okay, that's pretty solid. And then I'll use my knife to actually light this. And if you're not familiar with the Light My Fire knife, it has a fire steel built into it. I have 2 fire steels on me. I have matches, and I think I have a lighter too. It's all about redundancy, but it does a pretty good job. All I have to do is light this flame here. So I'll turn it on. Come on, baby. Okay. Give it a second. It wasn't working. Might actually be out of fuel, which I didn't feel like it was. Let me try something else here. Let me just try a lighter, see if that works. Sometimes you need fuel to be rare, so a lighter right here. There we go, it's lit. Can't really see the flame, but you can hear it. You can definitely feel it. Woo! It's hot. Okay. So, you don't want to put these on the flame without water in it if you damage it. This is a titanium solo pot here. So I'll put water in it and you can eye it out, you can measure it. There's a mug in here that you can measure it. I usually just eye it out. I think the bags may actually have measuring lines in them, but let's just boil some water. And also, I'll just give it a quick rinse to make sure there's nothing funky in there. I do wash these every time I use them. When I go home, I wash them in soapy water. Fill it about half full here. And we'll just let it boil. Put a little bit more on since we don't have a long way to go. So, there we go. I got a spare gas in case I needed it, and I also have another freeze dried. I'm just going to eat this Jamaican style jerk. Mountain Hardware tends to be a popular brand, and when I was looking in the beginning of quarantine, they seem to be overpriced on Amazon. Like people are inflating the prices and sell them like 20-30 bucks because of all the Corona stuff. And I always get them, so I decided to try these. These REI sucked a bunch, and you see how they are. All my trash over there. Take out the oxygen absorber. This looks interesting. The chicken looks funky, but it's going to taste good. So let's go ahead and let this boil. And once it's boiling, I will go ahead and pour it in and let it cook. And I have to figure out how I'm going to eat it. Like I said, I have a little tiny spoon in here, which I can use, but it's going to be pretty funny. These packs, I like them because they got everything you need. You got obviously the tuna packs, you can buy them by themselves. Give you a little napkin, which, you know, you can always use that. And for me, this is very valuable right now. I don't have an utensil on me. They even give you a little mitt. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat for a little bit, and I'll come back to you when this is done boiling, and we can pour it in there, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so let's go ahead and check on our water. It looks like it is boiling, and it is. So I can go ahead and turn off the water there. Just fix that. So let's turn it in the off position. That was the on position. That's the off position right there. Okay, so we'll just have to wait. How long does it take to cook? So this takes 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm not gonna bore everybody with that. There isn't a fill line, but I'm just gonna do it to where I think it's right. Good. Extra if we need it. Okay. And I'll just go ahead and I'll just put the rest. Alright, so I'm gonna let this sit for 20 minutes. I usually just zip it up, give it a little shake so everything gets broken up from the water, and let it hang out there. So just waiting for the food we cook. Just break down the day and how it went. So obviously I wasn't fully prepared for and I didn't really expect, I didn't expect it to be the way it was. I didn't think it was going to be so snowy up there, and I really should have had the right gear. But I only ended up losing my map, which was in my back pocket. So I know not to do that next time I'm sliding down a hill. And all in all, I didn't hurt myself, so it was a good day. I'm excited to be creating more videos for you guys. I have a lot of really cool gear that I've picked up just out of the hobby and my interest in the outdoors. Both climbing and backpacking, and then prospecting is kind of more of a gimmick thing for me. I don't expect to spend my time gold mining. But I do like the idea of having a portable metal detector and going to like old mines and campsites or maybe old foundations and searching around there for old trinkets and stuff. I think it'd be fun, cool videos. So let me know what you guys think about today and what you would have done different and where I went wrong. Trust me, backpacking is one of those things where you always got to kind of be on your guard. You always got to be prepared. The more you prepare, the easier it is to have fun outside. And the challenge is most people don't have enough experience doing this to where they don't really know what they need till they need it. And it takes going out. And I've been doing this, believe it or not, for since I was a kid, growing up in the West Coast. I did a lot of stuff in the Sierras with my dad when I was younger. And now I do a lot of stuff in the Appalachians, amongst other places in the world, by myself with friends and family. And always trying to get people excited about this. And I guess the only other thing I'll say is, people may ask, like, why do people backpack? It doesn't seem like it's fun. It's a lot of work. And to be honest, I don't think climbing the mountain is actually the fun part. That is working for something. It is the ability to challenge yourself. What's fun is really playing with all your toys, your gears, your gadgets. That's really what I enjoy. I have an obsession with technology and gadgets, and I love all the little toys that get me out of harm's way or make my day easier. And that's really why I got so into the outdoors. And I also realized that running a small business and the challenges I've been facing, backpacking is a lot like that. You don't come out here to have an easy ride or just be chauffeured around. You live in the city and you drive a fancy sports car to do that. You come out here to, again, really challenge yourself as a person on your own, and what you can do. And that's why I'm here. I'm here just to continually make myself a better person so that I can serve my peers and my friends to the best of my ability if I ever need to. And also, I just need some fresh air with all this quarantine, to be honest. Like, there's nothing worse than being told you have to sit in an apartment in the city for months on end. And, if I wasn't able to escape up here and I was still stuck at home, it would be really, really frustrating for me because, there's only so many TV shows you can watch. There's only so many things you can do in your house. And, I'm looking forward to hopefully businesses going back to normal. And I guess the last thing I'll say is, for anybody who's lost a loved one in this crisis that we have, I've been fortunate enough to have all my family still here that was here before it, and I'm very lucky that they're healthy and well. But just know that life is one of those things where we can go any day and never really know when it's going to happen, right? And so younger people have this, and I'm young, somewhat young. I'm getting older. I'm 30 something, but we all have this mentality like nothing can happen to us. And I really had an awaken the other day when I fell on my boosted board, because I usually ride around like ain't no thing, like I got it. And I just took a fall that was just a stupid error, and I thought I broke my shoulder bone, my collarbone. And there's been some times in my life where, like sliding down the hill today, it made me realize that, you're really going to make it count, and you're really going to cherish the things you have. And so I just, I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope everybody is staying healthy, and I hope your families are well, and I hope I can, I hope this all can get over soon, and we can get back to normal and live our lives. And so that's all I got to say. Let's see, check on that food. Alright, so the food's done. And I took a little bite to see how it would be. So this is the Jamaican style jerk rice and beans with chicken. And I'm using this tiny little spoon, which is really funny, but this thing was over to adjust me out here, but you guys. So, looks really good. Looks really good. Really good portion. This is going to be a big meal. So far, I approve of this. Very good. So we'll go ahead and eat this, and then I'm packed up. I already packed everything up for the most part. And I'm going to use this as my trash bag for all the other stuff I use because I forgot a trash bag. But luckily I can ziplock this, put it in the outside of my pack, put in the little sleeve on the outside, and it shouldn't get anything dirty, and I will leave no trace. That's what you want to do. So I'll see you guys when I'm leaving. Okay, so I'm done. Finished eating. I don't know if you can see it, but everything's packed. I went ahead and I put all that trash in the freeze-dried packet, and I put it in the outside pocket where you put your, your wet clothes. So if it were to make a mess, I can just rinse it off and not ruin the bag itself. So that was a nice little fix. I was worried about how I'd get all my trash out of here. I also have my headlamp. It is getting, pretty dark. I think I have about an hour left on the trail. I know I have to go down this way. Why isn't that? I'm trying to figure out why it's not following me. There we go. Sorry. So I know I have to get going down that way a little bit, and then we take that long walk that took 40 minutes. So we have about an hour left. So I'm not really going to film all that because you saw on the way in. But I will film if it starts getting dark and I start using my headlamp along with some B-roll stuff as we go, cool things. And I will check in at the car. And then, when I get home, we can kind of have a summary of what went wrong today and how we can improve this for next time to be prepared. So I'll see you guys at the car, if not before, if something comes up. If like a bear comes out and attacks me from behind, it'll give me 1 million views, so I'm all about it. Just joking, bears. Just kidding, bears. There's literally nobody but me and the creatures out here. And the sun setting, that's pretty cool. Life is like a box of chocolates. I don't know where I'm going with that. See you guys later. Nice going. Woo! That was it's peaceful. Oh, slippery too. So as you can see, I'm walking along trail. Really nice. Whoa, very slippery. Even this flat, you can see if I don't walk straight, I slide off every single time. These shoes are just not good for this, but I made it. These shoes like this kind of stuff. But as you can see, spring is coming. A little slower up here than other places, but I say the snow will melt in another month. Mid-June. If there's no more, I could be wrong. This is a time when you would expect animals to be coming out of hibernation and seeing stuff, and just have the sound of the water for now and be walking on the snow, which is an interesting combination. All right, just gonna do a little update for everybody. Sorry, I can't hold it higher because I'm just holding my hand, so it kind of looks up. So if I have something on my nose, I apologize. But I'm hiking. So I'm gonna update everybody what we've been doing. We're almost to the end. I think I probably have a quarter mile left to be to the car. I've probably fallen in like one of these like snow traps like 50 times on this trail, if not more. And it's just really with this snow, you really just have to step right in the middle. You'll notice there and there, anything hasn't been packed down by humans, you just sink in. And even though I know that, and I'm telling myself walk in a straight line, sometimes I get lazy, or I take a break, and I want to, like, stretch something out, and I step and I forget and I fall in. It keeps on happening. So maybe it's just user error, but one of those things to note. It's really nice down here. The temperature is perfect for what I'm wearing. It's crisp, but it's not cold. And this is kind of what I like about springtime in terms of the refreshing nature of the forest coming back alive. And once you figure out what terrain requires certain gear, and you can really have no problem. Today I made a lot more trouble for myself just because I wasn't prepared for the snow. And as soon as I came up here, I was like, oh, there's going to be snow, okay. And then I forgot about the things that make snow, things about snow that make trekking difficult, like the traction act and just getting up the hill and the danger of coming down. So something to note and something to keep in mind now. I think whenever I come up here, I'll always have that stuff if it's this time of year again. And the thing is, when you watch like YouTube videos of people like traveling on trips to different places, everybody has a different climate, and you kind of get caught up in what they're doing and try to relate to that where you are. And in the Northeast, as we all know, it's kind of cold. It doesn't get nice till later, but when it gets nice here, it is really nice. And there's a few months in the summer, like late summer, that is when you want to come to New England and do stuff and see this. And that's what I recommend anybody that wants to come out to the Northeast. So it's coming from somebody that grew up in California on the West Coast, plays Half Moon Bay, and been out here 15 years now. So I'm thinking a lot about the West Coast, getting back out there, what I do for work, and what my lifestyle is. And I'm still thinking about it. There's a lot to really contemplate in terms of my next moves for my company and the projects I've been working on. And I have to wait to see which one of our projects gets funded. And I don't want this channel to be about my career and my work, though. I want it to be about adventure and getting your mind away from all the crap we deal with in our daily lives. And so that's what it's all about. That's why I do this stuff. I do it to encourage people to really have a good time and geek out with their gear. And at the end of this video, I'll show you guys kind of what I have in my pack for this and what I would bring on a different day, or maybe I'll make that a separate video. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're almost there. I think about another 20 minutes, and I want to say the time is roughly 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's like 7:10 or something. So about a 4-hour trek, maybe 4.5, for about an 8-hour journey on snow. So it's not that bad. It was a nice day. It's a pretty decent day of hiking. And with the terrain, oops, got my feet wet there. And with the terrain, it definitely makes it harder, like this snowbank. I'm having to crawl up, slipping and sliding, and just catching myself every time I slide. It's like a double workout. So good way to burn some calories and work off those freeze-dried meals and all that quarantining. All right. I'll see you guys back at the car. Okay, we're coming up on the road, end of the trail, so we did it. 4.5-hour journey. Really 4 hours if you took minimal breaks. Hung out for half an hour. Sun's about to set over there. And you actually get a nice view of the valley. I'll show you when we go up to the car. All right. So it's interesting, this one, there's not really a sign. It just says parking. The trail actually starts right over here up top, and I'll do that. So I'll add up the mileage at home. But it's a pretty cool parking lot, actually. Ah, there she is. All right, guys. Thanks for coming along with me. It was a lot of fun. Let's do it again sometime.